Thank you so much for speaking to me. I love this franchise. I absolutely do. And with you in it, this was wonderful. You play Vera. You're part of the Moonwalkers. No,
The
no, no.
vampires.
Yes, sorry about that.
No, you're so fine.
And what I love about her character is she is very true to what she believes. Obviously, we see a transformation and a growth, but can you talk about kind of her stance and why she feels so strongly about her belief system?
I think it's really awesome getting to see a strong character who is willing to stand their ground and um, stay true to what they believe in. I think it's cool getting to see her grow as well. But I loved playing a proud vampire. I think it was so much fun and getting to kind of mother the other two vamp bros, as I like to say. I think I always wanted to be that like responsible vampire that our leader would always be like, oh, she's doing good. I almost like say that she's like a teacher's pet.
Right.
Um, in school because I am sometimes guilty of that. So I know what it's like. But I think it was really cool getting to see her grow and getting to see her change and understand what it means to be a good and a leading vampire, even if
Right.
that means going against your beliefs sometimes. But she did stick onto it as long as she could.
She did. And you know what's really interesting is it's all about perspective with it. It's more about blending in what's right and wrong, and more about what's being taught to you. So what I love also about this character is she has her friends. She has a very strong friendship. Can you talk about that bond that she has with her friend that is also kind of leery at first, but is the first one to take the initiative to start questioning things? And do you feel that that impacts Vera's decision?
Yeah, I think her friendship means a lot to her. I think being a proud vampire comes with your friendships and comes with the connections that you make as a vampire. I think you can only, your powers just become stronger the more that you have people surrounding you. I think it helps her mental health a lot knowing that she has a friend group. But I think it does impact her decision a lot. I think if it was another vampire making that decision, maybe she wouldn't have as much of a soft spot for him. Also too, because she feels like almost a mother figure or like a older sister figure to Victor, kind of always keeping him in check, always telling him what to do, what not to do, because she knows how crazy of a guy he is. Which I like to say is me and Malachi in real life too. So I think it was really special getting to see her change for somebody that she loves so deeply, even though she may not show it like so much. It's all inside.
I love her style as well. Can you talk about
Oh yeah.
kind of the style? Was it any part of your personality that was allowed to kind of blend into that when it came to her look?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's so our costumes all took a good amount of time just because they had to put so much thought into it. We had to do camera tests with all of them to make sure they look good in our many different backgrounds that we were playing. But also to know that kids will have to dress up as these characters for Halloween. So honestly, also making sure that they are costumes that you can probably what I love so much about zombies was that these are costumes you can probably pull out of your closet and kind of put together. I have been seeing people do that already, which is really, really awesome. Because for me, mine started much more costumey. It definitely seemed like something you would have to go out to the store and buy. But I loved how we tweaked it to make her a little bit more human dressing, which I think made her also feel more real to audiences so that people can connect with her more when she didn't have such a crazy wig or a crazy outfit. I was literally just wearing Zara pants that had some sort of like gems and red on it. So I think that's what also made her more grounded and more connectable with audiences, which is I'm so proud that we made that decision. And also made it much easier for me to dance in, which was I was very grateful for. But I got to have some say in it, and that idea of liking the human version that we did a little bit more. So knowing that I can just probably go to Zara, grab some like black pants, put like a sparkly belt on, put some red in, knowing that that's what Vera is and that's who Vera can be dressed up as was
Right.
really awesome. So I'm excited to see how more people take that on.
Now, you also mentioned the dancing. This is a musical, as we all know and love. Can you talk about kind of bringing in your own technique and your style? Do you feel that there was a transformation when it came to the Vera and how she danced as opposed to how you sway dance?
Yeah, for sure. I've been dancing for 15 years now. I trained at Alvin Ailey for many years. So I definitely know proper dance technique, and getting to bring that into a project I'm so passionate about definitely meant a lot to me. I got to be like dance captain on set, and I got to teach the new cast members and drill them as soon as we got home. We'd like go to the gym and we'd train for hours and hours after hours and hours of practice. So that was a really special moment for me after so many years of training in dance. But it feels so different from any dance I do outside of zombies, just because you're dancing in character, you're dancing for a movie that has such a specific audience, and also you're working on an incredible choreography. Draco and Taya and Riley are our choreography team, and they killed the choreography and killed us in the process. But I'm so proud of the way that it came out and seeing people take that on. But I think the cool part about getting to play a character who dances was bringing that sassiness into the choreography, and I think it just leveled it up. Because I think when I try to do the choreography as Sway, it doesn't look as cool. But when I try to do it as Vera, you can see the sass just adds so much to every sharp movement, every turn, every arm gesture. So I really love seeing that come through on screen.
Now, also, could you talk about the breakdown in terms of the making of it? Because you have the singing, the dancing, then there's the acting, the rehearsal process. And by being a captain, I'm going to assume that you take on more of the responsibilities. That means a much longer day. So how long did that process take from the rehearsal to what we see on set?
We all started with recording the songs first so that we can
Okay.
have something to learn the dances to and something to film to. I think we all recorded our songs in our own hometowns. So I recorded in New York, Malachi recorded in LA, Freya, I believe, recorded in London, and MK recorded in Australia. So we all recorded in different places of the world, which was really cool to see how that all came in together.
Mhm.
But yeah, we all did our songs first. We got to know them. We got to get them in our bodies so that when we got to dance rehearsal, we all knew what songs we were listening to, and we all had sort of studied them, broken them down, understood like each part when we are supposed to sing or when we're supposed to lip sing or not sing. Just because I think I have the guilty pleasure of singing as a fan for any
Right.
zombie franchise. So I was like, wait, I need to remember I actually have a part in this. Let me only sing my line. So that was interesting getting to be on that side of the zombies franchise. And then when we got to New Zealand, we started dance rehearsals. We had rehearsals for a month because we had so many songs to learn. But it was an incredible collaborative process, and I was very grateful that I got to work with the cast so closely on the dance, and I think it really helped a lot. Getting to work with somebody that was, each other's level. We learned so much from Draco especially, but I think getting to practice it in a safe space in like our hotel area and just like really, really drill it there made everyone else feel really comfortable and also made me feel more comfortable, knowing that the dance is the best that we could do.
Was there any terms of a fluidity in terms of movement that can be changed? Because I know a lot of the time movement was a reflection of the emotion the character is going through. So was you able to like change something, even a small tweak that we may not see?
Yeah, so I mean when we had some less dancey parts, like for example in
Right.
the beginning of Don't Mess With Us, when we're having like a little speak off in our own little bunks in the beginning of the song, we had some sort of like hand gestures that were kind of put set on us on set. They weren't quite choreography that we had set before. So there was some moments like that where we had some speaky parts or less set choreography parts in songs that we could all play around with and see what came naturally to us while we were speaking. Because Draco didn't want it to come out unnatural. He didn't want to put, set movements on us so that it would, look unnatural when we're speaking. So I got to have a little bit of say in that song and Don't Mess With Us on what we should do with hands, like what felt natural as a vampire, and whether we would fang out at this moment or not. It was a nice collaborative environment in those parts. I think the choreography was a little bit more set, but I was completely fine with that because it was incredible choreography.
Can you talk about the locations? Was this more of a studio or was this on a location?
So we had a studio that we filmed on, but a lot of the more outdoor locations scenes that we saw were all
Right.
real, which were incredible. There was barely any green screen used in this film, which I think was so special and made it so real. And when you're watching it, you just feel so immersed in the places that we are, and I think it also helped all of us knowing that we were able to really see what we were in and take all that in rather than having to make it up from a green screen. so that was really special, and I think it helped all of us. And also just being in New Zealand, it's incredible. The people are amazing. They all make the project so incredible. We owe a lot of it to them for bringing an incredible personality to set every single day. They were always like a safe space for us. Every single AD, every single member of the crafty always had like iced chocolates ready for me, Freya, and Malachi, like in the morning when we went to school, because we had to do school while we were there. Um, but I think all those waterfall moments, all those sand dune moments were all real. And as it was a challenge to dance on those grounds, it really, really helped us all just get into character, really lock in those moments, which I really love to see. And I think it looked really awesome in the cut.
So there were a lot of physical challenges that the group itself had to work within in order to kind of realize, hey, maybe we should probably do this together. What I wanted to know was, when do you feel that there was a moment that it clicked for Vera that it's better to work together than separate when you're trying to achieve the same goal?
Yeah, I think it took her a while to come around, but I was really grateful that she did. I think knowing that what kind of what we were saying is that she did have a soft spot for Victor. So knowing that it meant so much to him, but realizing that in the bigger picture, I am actually helping my team. I think that was the moment that it clicked when I realized it wasn't a war, that we were all fighting for the same thing. I think that was the moment where she was like, okay, I should work together with these people because we're all just helping each other. And just because we're helping them doesn't mean we're not helping us. So I think it's a testament to take into real life as well, that just because you're helping someone else does not mean you're not helping yourself. Helping others always helps yourself. It always comes back to you in some shape or form.
Do you feel that she was wrong in any way by going to the leaders and saying, hey, this is what they're trying to do that goes completely against kind of
Ooh,
our policy and what we was taught?
I know. That scene was a little painful for me. I was like, oh, why'd she do that? But I always say live life with no regrets, and all that matters is that she came around in the end. I think that's really what mattered the most, and I think that's what shows her true colors the most. Because I think you even see her emotion
Right.
when Victor shows how upset he was. So knowing that she made the right decision in the end, that's all we care about. The
Was
growth.
it, do you feel that was more afraid of losing Victor's friendship as opposed to others?
100%. I think Victor means a lot to her. They're so close, and I think she looks at him like a younger brother. So to lose somebody who's so close to you like that is something that she would never want to risk. Um, so I think it was important for her to have that moment of like, oh no, I can't lose this. So I definitely have to do the right thing. So I'm glad that she had that sort of push from him. So they're that kind of relationship that always help each other.
Right.
Victor's a crazy vampire, but she knows when to keep him in check, and he knows when to be like, all right, Vera, like you can chill.
And then also I was kind of wondering, this is the franchise. Say there's a zombie five, six, whatever. Where do you see Vera in the future?
Honestly, I see her coming around, but still keeping that inner sassiness. I don't think that
Okay.
sassiness is ever gonna go away. I don't think her confidence is ever gonna go away. So I would love to see her take on something like this again and see if the next time around how she takes that on and what push she would need then, or if she needs a push at all, or if she feels confident enough to take on a battle like this. Um, so I'd love to see, like now that we've seen her growth, I'd love to see where that growth kind of stays.
Mhm.
And I'd also love to see her kind of get to be more with the Daywalkers and see what that's like for her, because it's just been a rivalry for so many years.
Right. She had stereotypes about the Daywalkers as well. I was wondering, how did she
Yeah.
feel when the Daywalkers had stereotypes about the vampires?
Oh, she did not like that. I think being such a proud vampire, she's like, we're perfect. Hello. Um, but it was cool because what I loved about the Daywalkers and the vampires is that we're so similar but so different. And I
Mhm.
love seeing that dynamic and that chemistry come through on the screen. And I love to see people's interpretations on kind of what they think. Also, like certain things that we don't show in the cut, kind of seeing how people like fill in pieces here and there, which is really really awesome. And also for us too, like in like any parts that we don't know, maybe we can like try to figure out. Like as a fan too,
Right.
myself, I'm like, where is this going? What does this mean? But I also love my favorite part, honestly, about this movie is all the teases we have towards the older films.
Mhm.
I think that was the most special thing for me as well. I cried so much when we did the table read and Meg and Milo had their little special moment. That was such an insane moment for me. And I had the next line right after they had their moment. And I was crying so much that I could not get my line out. So we cherished that moment forever. And when we did the actual table read, I ended up getting my line out. And I did get it out in the actual scene. But watching the movie, I broke down. That was such a special moment for me, such a special moment for them. So
Right.
I'm excited for people to have those nostalgic moments.
Was there a song that you felt that Vera really was reflected Vera's thoughts the most?
Mm. I think you learn a lot about Vera through Don't Mess With Us. You learn a lot about the vampires through The Place to Be. But I think the cool part is knowing that, I mean, she took place in Show the World. She took place in the finale. She had like a genuine part in that. She
Right.
was genuinely singing along. But I know it's not my song, but I feel like My Own Way, which is Freya's song, is not only is it an incredible song and she sings it so well, I think it kind of reflects on Vera. I know Vera didn't hear her sing it, but I think if Vera were to listen to that song, I think it would have like kind of touched something in her. Um, I think people can also probably take that on Vera's character as well because she does end up having to go her own way, but then doesn't end up making the right decision. So I think it's one of those things where she listens to what other people have to say and then really just like does the math in her head of like what does all this mean, what do I do? So I love listening to that song and I think all characters can say that they go through that because we're all our own person and we're all our different personalities and I love seeing that come together.
Kind of lastly, I wanted to know, was there a deleted scene or a song or moment that you wish was included in the movie?
Mm. I think there were some like deleted lines, but I
Okay.
think we pretty much got everything in. There was one song that ended up being cut that I loved so much. I don't believe we ever actually ended up filming it, but it was called Together as One. It ended up being the end credit song.
Right.
It's an incredible, incredible song. I loved it so much. We originally were gonna film that song and put it in the movie, but we ended up making an end credit. So I'm glad we all get to hear that song one way or another. But it was just a really special movie, a really special song.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for speaking to me. I love this movie. I love the franchise. I'm happy you're in it. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Sway.
Thank you.
All right, bye.